Hello and welcome to Mike's Garage. If you've already subscribed to our channel, thank you very much. If you haven't, please do. And when you do, be sure and tap on the little notification bell so you'll be notified every time we put up a new video. And I did that without stuttering, stammering, or anything. Okay. I'm having fun. I mentioned in our last video, in fact, in our last video, what we were working on was my friend Linda's Sportster that she ran over a bear with, and we talked about that. And I talked about the fact that please understand that although I want to get back on that Flathead project, I'm kind of off of it for maybe a week or two here, whatever needs to be, so that I can prepare to go forward on the motor again. And while I do that, I'm trying to get caught up on some other things. This is my Shovelhead. This is one of my favorite things in the whole world. And it has more custom work to it than you can imagine. Just looking at it, it looks like your garden variety Shovelhead. And there is nothing garden variety about this thing. This is my bike I built for me. It was new when I bought it. And that was 44 years ago and about 400,000 miles ago, and we have grown together. I can't say we're grown up because I don't think we're quite grown up, but we have grown together. And so here she is, and every once in a while somebody will ask me questions about it, and I like to answer them because I really am fond of this motorcycle. This is my road bike. And it is set up for me to sit on for days and days at a time. And it's not a drag bike, it's a high-speed road bike. It's very happy going high speed for weeks at a time. It has a 6-speed and lots of fun things about it that makes it a real fun Shovelhead to ride. Anyway, enough of that. What I need to do is I need to take the pipes off because although I had the sidecar mounted to this thing, when I took it off, there were a couple of bolts I couldn't get to remove, and the pipes are in the way, and the only way I'm going to get them out of there is to remove the pipes. And I've been asked so many questions about these pipes that I thought, well, why don't I just put the bike up in the air and remove the pipes, and then everybody can see what they're like. And what the main deal is here is these are STD heads. And these STD heads are cast differently than original Shovelheads. Besides being a very high performance unit, they're real good cylinder heads. Besides being dual plugged and a few other goodies as far as the way they flow and all that sort of thing, which is very good, is that the exhaust ports are cast for 3 studs. Okay, so you have to have plates, and I think Paco products probably, well, they make drag pipes that'll fit those heads. Other than that, I don't know who else makes pipes for them, but generally you have to make your own pipes. And my friend Nathan welded these up. I designed them. I took him 3 or 4 sets of pipes off my parts room floor, and we laid them on the floor of the shop over at Turner's Customs in Yucaipa. And I told Nathan exactly what I wanted him to do. I've always wanted pipes that were parallel, laying over each other, and he made them for me out of everything we had. And then actually the tail pipes, the extensions, would start here. Cameraman Mike found this piece of stainless steel tubing somewhere and brought it home, and that's what we put on there. So anyway, what I need to do is take these pipes off so I can get to those bolts. And the way it's going to happen is I have to take the outer one off first. I want to get the saddlebag out of the way first. And that's something else that's worth showing. When your saddlebags hang like mine do, then you can take a big bungee cord, pull one bag up like that, pull the other bag up like that, hook the aforementioned bungee cord to it. Sure worked in practice. Let's see. Okay. And there it is. We'll get the rag under this bungee cord so it doesn't do anything bad to the paint or the seat. And that saddlebag is now out of the way without having to remove it. And there it is, so to speak. Excuse me. All right. So in order to do this, there's a bunch of stuff that has to come loose. Like I said, Nathan engineered these things to within an inch of their life. And we'll start right here at this clamp. You understand these are my pipes and I'm used to them, so I kind of know the order of things. But this clamp covers up this mounting bolt in here. So we'll take this clamp loose. And then we can get to that mounting bolt in there. I think I got most of my wrenches out that I own to do this. There is a bolt right there that needs to come out. And Nathan made this bracket here, going right into the foot peg mount. And so we'll loosen it up. We're not even going to take it out. We're just going to loosen it up. Okay. And this one here. It's kind of a long-winded thing, but it's all threaded. And he really went crazy engineering these. We spent the day together doing these pipes. And I'm really pretty much in love with them. I'm just glad that my neighbors like the sound of a hot rod Harley. You should always live in a neighborhood that understands you or appreciates you. That's it, yeah, neighborhood that appreciates you. That was kind of a new experience for me when I moved in here. Gee, neighborhood that thinks I'm okay. Nice people. And the cool thing about these nice people is they raise nice children, too. We have, I think, 17 is the last count I made. 17 children in one block. It's great.
Yeah, good kids.
Oh, they're great kids.
I don't mind throwing a Halloween party for them.
Yeah, cameraman Mike comes over and does a whole Halloween thing for the kids on the street. It's pretty neat, especially this one group, because their mom would cook us dinner on Halloween, bring it over. Yeah, that dinner's way better than a couple bags of candy, I'll tell you. Oh, man. She's pretty wonderful. Anyway, so once I get this bolt out of here, that's what I'm doing. I'm talking to kill time here while I get this bolt out of here. Once I get this bolt out of here, you know, I really did get a short wrench for just this occasion. No, that's not it. I didn't get one. Okay. Okay. That thing is just about out. Yeah, I have a short wrench I use in here, but okay. Come on, you can't be that long.
You designed it long.
Nah, actually, this is Nathan's design here. Nathan designed this whole bracket setup and welded a plate onto the pipe. And this thing goes together. And then I came up with the bright idea of tying the pipes together. Anyway, we really had fun designing this thing. And if getting this bolt out is the worst problem I have, it's okay. Yeah, that one back there has to come out. Then we'll have them off in no time. I mean, no time. If I had a short wrench, I'd be styling here. Wait a minute. There is no room for a socket in there.
Go get your wrench.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go get my wrench. Wait a minute. There it is. I got it. Okay.
I knew it.
That's it. All I had to do was threaten it. Okay, now the other thing is, it's kind of odd, is I figured out a long time ago when you're really messing with pipes, is that the longer they get, the more movement you're going to get out there at the end. And so what I started doing was tying them together, which, well, there is a downside to it. Well, what I used was I don't know if you can get in there and see that piece, but that's part of a Harley exhaust clamp. That's the shim that goes into the Harley exhaust clamps. And by using that piece in there, that gets them exactly the right amount of space apart. Okay? All right. There's the nut. There's a washer in there. And we'll get this bolt out of here in about a second. There's the washer. And there's the bolt, which also has a washer on it. Okay, now we can see this piece that's wedging these things into really makes them nice and tight. And there it is. That's a piece out of a Harley Davidson exhaust clamp. And I just slide it in there. Well, I drilled a hole in the pipes and put it through there. Makes the whole thing a lot stronger. I used to do it with upsweeps. If somebody'd want a wild pair of upsweeps. And you've got this big long pair of pipes coming up. If you connect them, they get a whole lot stronger. I had a boss about 40 years ago that used to tell me, if you can pick that bike up by its exhaust pipes, they're strong enough. Okay, boss. Anyway, I wouldn't do that with these, but they really are nice. Okay, so now I've got them disconnected here. I've got them disconnected there. And so in order to remove the rear pipe, which is also the outside pipe on these, all I have to do is take these 3 nuts off and it'll come right off. Now these are real fancy little stainless steel 12-point nuts that I put here just because I liked them. I thought they were pretty. I thought they were quality. I don't even know who made them, probably ARP. Anyway, I like them. And see, they're not so fat on that flange. That 12-point is a very small head there. That's only like a 3/8 head. And so there's 2 of the 3. And we'll have this pipe off in a matter of a few minutes.
You're going to have to apologize for fan noise.
Oh, fan noise? Yeah, it's getting awfully warm in here. And on our last video, it was really warm in here. And we ended up with a whole bunch of noise from our fan in here. And so I'll apologize in advance for any noise that fan makes. as the sweat drips off my face. So, all right. Okay, there's number 3. I'm going to get that nut off of there, and the washer doesn't want to cooperate. There it is. It went all the way through. Okay, there is the pipe. It is off of there, and I'm going to set it on the floor over here where I have a nice rubber pad. And we'll just set it there. Now we'll get the other one off. That's what I wanted to show, is what Mike is showing right now with the camera. And I hope that comes out real good. Do you want more light on that at all? Okay, as long as that comes out good, and you can see how the three studs are just, that piece is cast there for those 3 studs, and they're 5/16 studs, and boy, do they hold that pipe nice. I don't get an exhaust leak. One of the things I was going to mention about the fact that I have a hole drilled here, and I bolt the 2 pipes together in parallel, you get a tweet through that hole. And you can seal it with every kind of sealant known to man when you put that bolt through there. I have tried everything you can imagine. If I have to put up with an occasional tweet, I'll deal with it. That's okay. I don't mind. It makes me happy. I love these pipes. And they're a little on the loud side, but then some things can't be helped. Motorcycle has a bit of a toot. Don't know why. Now, if I get the other 2 off of there, these pipes will be off. It didn't really take very long. I mean, now I know this is my motorcycle and I'm used to it, so, you know, that's probably one of the reasons it doesn't take very long.
Are 3 bolts standard on STD heads?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they are on these STD shovels they make. I can't remember what they put on pans, but they have their own way of doing things, and that's okay. I got a chance to get these heads, and I bought them, and I've never been sorry. I did have them breathed on a little bit over at Dave Mackey Engineering. That seemed to make them stand up and talk a little more. But
videos.
Yeah. Okay, we got one more nut, and it's almost off. And see, I switched to a shorter wrench so I wouldn't scratch my fender if I slipped. And, I think Drag Specialties carries the exhaust flanges, which Nathan simply welded to the pipe. I say simply, it was very simple because Nathan did it for me. That was simple. Okay. So there it is, coming off now. Well, talk about a toot. Okay, there it is. And we have it all done. And they're both off now. Now I can get to those bolts on the frame they were holding a sidecar mount for me. You know what, Mike? I did show where that bracket went together with a bolt when I started. Let's see that that plate there. There, can you show that? That right there? Okay, that's where it's welded onto the pipe. And then the two go together on that bracket that goes onto the foot peg mount. Anyway, that just shows how it comes apart. And so there it is. So now all I need to do is take those bolts out that I wanted to take out. So if you'd like to come over here, that would be these two bolts down here. And they're giving me a rough time as to where I can run my breather hose. And that's why they have to go away. Because that breather hose was huffing a bunch of junk out onto my beautiful exhaust pipes, and that's not acceptable. So that's why we're spending the evening doing this. Like I said, this is catching up on all the things I need to do besides the flathead. We'll have Linda's Sportster going anytime now and get that out of here. And this thing is, well, this thing's in good shape. It's not giving me any grief at all. I just needed these pipes taken care of. Or these bolts anyway. And I'm going to scrub those pipes real good before I put them back on. And I'm going to make a new breather hose down here. But all this was made up for the sidecar mount that is not there anymore. I'm afraid Sonia will just have to ride in the car like most other dogs. Well, she likes riding in the car. And I think she'd love riding on the in a sidecar, but it's just not in the cards. I'm afraid I'm not a sidecar guy. I thought I was. Okay. That's going to crash any second. You ready? That was it. All right. Okay. So here we are. Mission accomplished. I'm going to clean those pipes back up and clean them up real good and put them back on. I was saying, and I probably got lost in my own thoughts there for a second, that Drag Specialties does carry the exhaust gaskets for these and the steel flanges which you weld to your exhaust pipes. So, I mean, it isn't like this is an insurmountable task. I'm sure it would cost a lot to actually chrome those pipes after you get them done. I didn't do it. I just, that's not in the budget. You know, I just painted what was raw. I painted black and said, there, that's exhaust paint. That seems to look pretty good. And I have a tendency to put heat shields where I don't want to look at a pipe. And that works good too. So there you have it. So I'm going to put them back on now that everybody's seen how they come off. And I really wanted to show those flanges to people who keep asking about them. So we did. I'm not sure what we'll do in our next video, but it won't be long from now. And until then, I'll see you out on the road.